Awesome. All right. So again, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for coming out to our meet and greet. So this is the opportunity where we get to meet a couple of our instructors and have a familiar face. So if you do have the opportunity to come to Lakeland College, you'll already be aware of some of our instructors here. They're the best instructors ever. But before we our instructors, I am going to introduce myself. My name is Brandi Mendez. I am the academic advisor. So you'll see me quite often if as a business student, we'll talk about your schedules, we'll talk about the programs you want to pursue, the classes that you want to take and everything like that. So you and I will meet here and there to determine those types of things if you want to be a business student. And just a couple things about me. I was a student here. I was an alumni. I am an alumni of Lakeland College. I was a student here from 2009 to 2013. I absolutely loved my experience, hence the reason I am still here and now as an employee of Lakeland College. I played basketball for the women's wrestlers basketball team. So I had opportunities there, and I'm so thrilled to be here today. One of the other things I really like with that basketball part of me is that I'm a big sports person. Me and my husband are very much involved in the Lloydminster Slow Pitch Association in town. I like to be part of volleyball and whatnot, but I also kind of like the outdoors as long as the sun is out. Not a big fan of the winter. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. So the point here today is to meet a couple more of our instructors. But before I turn that time over, there is a couple things I want to point out. So I did put a poll in the chat, so I would encourage you to go check it out. We'd love to see what kind of programs or majors that you were interested in. So please scroll up and put your you can put your vote in. It is anonymous, so you don't have to worry there. And yeah, the next thing I'd like to share is, because we do have a little contest for you. So our mascot came today to come check out our open house. Just 1 second here. All right, so we have an opportunity here. The mascot you just saw, you have the opportunity to win a prize, a little swag bag, if you know the answer to the following question. The first person that can type it in correctly into the chat, I will put my email down and you can email me your information so we can then send that out to you. So the question is, our mascot, what is he and what is his name? If you're not sure, you might be able to check out the website and see if you can find it. So as we're waiting to see if we can find a winner to our question, I am going to start turning the time over. Oh, need to make sure that doesn't go. I am going to turn the time over to Ken. He is going to introduce himself and tell a little bit about himself, maybe what he teaches, and anything that might be interesting. So Ken, take it away.
Well, good, Brandi. Thank you very much for inviting me. And like you, Brandi, I have a long history here at Lakeland. It's been very good to me in my life. I got to play volleyball here. I was on the Students Association. I was a student here. I met my beautiful wife here, and now my daughter is actually coming here as well. So I've got Lakeland running through the veins, and don't mean to drop any hints here, but I'd say from playing sports, it was often had a lot of rowdy times. Hey, Brandi, so we can see if that hit gives anything. But anyways. Yeah, so I instruct courses here, obviously, or I wouldn't be on this camera. I teach a lot of the second year real estate appraisal and assessment program, and also teach. I'm doing first year classes now as well, and enjoying that. What else can I say? I'd say that Lakeland is a wonderful place. I started here and went on to my university training at the University of Alberta. So if you come into business, I mean, we have obviously lots of diplomas here where you can come and end at Lakeland and leave with a great diploma. Or you can take it and use it as a stepping stone to continue on to a number of other universities like I did. I did 2 years here, and then, or I think it was 1.5 years, and then I went on to University of Alberta. What can I say? Well, I love this place so much. I'm like Brandi. I like working here. I like working with students, and Lakeland is a very friendly place. It agrees with me in who I am, and it's good to people. It's kind. It's helpful. It's friendly. I like my experience at the universities, but it wasn't Lakeland. Lakeland has got a family feel to it, and I think you'd find the same. Universities obviously have other things to offer as well, but for me personally, I would do it again. If I could do my university training all over again, I'd definitely start here and then continue on from there. I think it's about all. Other than that, I mean, it's a great campus, great course. We got lots going on, and we're trying to get through this COVID thing like everybody else. And actually, it's kind of going smoother than I thought. I don't know how all of you folks that are interested in coming have been finding it, but we're online on everything all of the sudden. Not all of it. We do have some hybrid classes as well, but doing the best. So, Brandi, I think that's all. If I keep nattering on, I'm going to start boring our good folks here. So I hope to see you here at Lakeland next year. Thank you for coming to our open house. And yeah, I'm available to talk anytime. I like to think I'm a friendly person. So if you ever wanted to know about the courses, the programs I teach, or go for a coffee, I do that a lot with students. So I'm open anytime. So that's about all, Brandi. You take over, unless you want me to talk about something else.
No, we're good. Thank you so much, Ken. I actually didn't realize you were an alumni here as well. That's super exciting. We have lots to talk about. So I'd like to move on to Roxene. She is another instructor of ours. I'd love her to take a moment to tell a little bit about herself.
All right. Thank you very much, Brandi. I think I can echo the same kind of example that Brandi and Ken have. I am as well alumni. I came here shortly after high school. I'm from a small town, so when I was looking at colleges, I really liked how personable the college was, and so I just found that it was a really great choice for myself to come, and everyone was very friendly, helpful, and the fact that I was able to transfer my courses to University of Alberta. So it was just a really good choice for myself. So I end up graduating from a business administrative diploma. So I have a business background, and then I worked after I got my diploma. I did work in the oil and gas sector for a number of years before I decided that I wanted to go back to school. And then I went to University of Alberta and got my degree there. So I feel that Lakeland College has been home to me for many, many years. And so from going to school, then going to university, and then coming back to Lloydminster after being in Edmonton, it just felt like home, even though I didn't grow up here as a child. I do feel that Lloyd is home to me, and I did grow up in a small town, but I also grew up from a very large family. So I'm the 7th child. And so having a bigger number of people around me wasn't overly foreign to me because of the big family that I came from. And what else can I tell you about myself? I worked in Vermilion campus as well as the Lloydminster one. Both campuses are great, and but you're going to really love coming to college here and being a part of the business. It's everyone is very welcoming, and if you have any questions, you are always welcome to ask those questions and seek the extra help that you may need. It has been a bit of a challenge to be strictly online because we're missing a little bit of that connectivity with one another. But I do feel that every day I still connect with students on a daily basis and through video and also through chat features. And so it is, although it's been a bit of a challenge, it still has been really good. So I'm not, I still feel very much a part of the family, and I feel that our students are feeling the same way. And hopefully we can get back to having more of that face-to-face interaction with each other in the near future. But in the meantime, we are doing great online. So I think that's all for me. Hopefully I covered everything and I didn't ramble on too much. And take it away, Brandi.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roxene. I also just want to take the moment. We had our current chair of business, Ben Acquay, join us, and I'm just wanting to ask if he'll take a couple seconds to tell everyone a little bit about himself.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ben Acquay, and a little bit about myself. Well, I have the distinct pleasure of being the chair of the business department, and it's an amazing group of profs that I get to work with every single day. And we also have an amazing academic advisor in Brandi and an amazing admin assistant in Cassandra, and we have a able dean who supports us in what we do, Brad Onufri. And I am in my 5th year as chair and in my 8th year working at Lakeland College, and indeed 8th year in Canada, because prior to that we lived and worked in the United Kingdom. And I have spent most of my adult life in either the UK or in Canada. Originally, I come from Ghana. It's a cocoa and gold producing country in West Africa. And I have seen a lot of the continent. I tell people I have lived and worked in many countries on 3 continents so far. And like the rest of the team here, we bring in a range of expertise from across the world, and that is something that our students have told us they enjoy from the examples that we're able to use and share in our classrooms. And so we are very excited to meet you, and we are happy that even in these COVID times, we are able to provide you with opportunities that are very, very relevant. We have students working together using online platforms on projects. And these are projects that we would otherwise not have had them to do in the past. One of the best things about choosing Lakeland College is the fact that not only do we focus on your technical skills, which you need and which your certificate would confirm, we also invest a lot of our time and energy in helping you develop and sharpen your public speaking, presentation, and leadership skills. And we think that when we give you this all-round experience, your chances of being successful in the job market goes up significantly. Now, before I leave, I would just like to say that there's one thing I have noticed about my department, faculty, and indeed across the college. We don't see you as a student that is here for some studies and you study, you get a certificate, goodbye. That's not how we see you. We see this as a relationship. We see this as the beginning of a long relationship. Today you are a student. Tomorrow we think you would be an employer that employs our students. And this is what drives our interaction with you. We don't see it as a one-off interaction. We see it as the beginning of a relationship. And so we stand by to help and support you now that you're a student, before you become a student, when you are a student, and when you finish your studies with us. And so on that note, it's exciting to see you, and we'll love you to join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. I really appreciated your words on that, because I can definitely vouch for that, that it is not just as a student that came here, it wasn't about, you know, just getting me through and graduating me and seeing the numbers. It was, I truly was able to develop a relationship with the business department, and the experiences and the opportunities and essentially the friends that I've gained out of the faculty here has been absolutely fantastic. They were always concerned about me as a student. They always asked me questions and how things were going, and they'd follow up on, and they were very, very close in my life, and I really appreciated that. And our instructors care immensely. So while we are now kind of wanting to move on a little bit, I would like to invite Ken to talk a little bit about the appraisal and assessment major, as he's kind of our expert.
Okay, well, back again, eh, Brandi? Yeah, it seems to be a common theme, doesn't it? Actually, it seems like once you come to Lakeland, you have a high probability of calling it home, and that says something. So the appraisal assessment major. Okay, so when we call it that, that's a shortened term. It's actually the real estate appraisal and assessment major. Now, what that is it's a focus on, let's say, becoming a specialist in valuing real estate. The two most typical careers that you would take out of that program is to either become a real estate assessor, and typically that works in government taxation. So every single property in the province needs a value put on it each year in order to have it assessed how much taxes it'll pay. That's a lot of work. And in times when there's not a lot of jobs, that's kind of nice that there's some of these jobs that you need to get done every year, whether it's a good economy, bad economy, high oil price, low price, they still need to have values put on these properties. And so we send a lot of grads into that field. And the other side would be the appraisal side of things. And that's typically somebody that does single property valuations. And they'll typically do work for banks or for law firms or for farmers or for people that are buying or selling a house, or, you know, for a number of reasons, litigation with lawyers, accounting purposes, you know, so they're no matter which side they take on, they're a professional. You'd be going after a professional designation. You can take Lakeland's course and finish there and end up entering industry, or you can move on to further studies through the University of British Columbia or through other universities to kind of get different types of designations. I won't bore you with all of those, but what I can tell you is that there's other jobs other than just appraising and assessing. So it's not a limiting diploma where you can only work in real estate. We have students now that are branching out. One of our star students from last year just became the head administrator for the town of Maidstone. Another one of our past students is doing very well for himself as a commercial and agricultural lender with the Bank of Nova Scotia down the road in Vermilion. We have government or administration, banking, becoming a realtor. You know, that's not we don't have a lot of students becoming realtors, but you're well trained for that. If you are into marketing and sales, that would be well suited to you. We do have very, very good employment stats. I don't know what they are this last year. I haven't seen the numbers come back, but let's say prior to last year, we would have been very close to 100% employment. And I think our median salary coming to the program for a number of years now has been in the mid to high 60s, $60,000 range. So that's good. That's really good. I have a son coming out of engineering school, and I think my students would outperform him on wages, and he's just finishing up university or engineering at University of British Columbia. What else can I say is, if you take the diploma, let's say you finish it and you're like, yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite thing, but I don't know if I'm going to spend the rest of my career in this. Okay, well, you've got a 2-year diploma. You can still transfer onto a university or keep going here to your degree and become a chartered accountant or do a marketing degree or whatever. It's just 2 years of education, so you're not stuck in it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and that's about all. It's a really good diploma. If you like economics at all, if you like analyzing, And if you like to get a job that has some pay behind it, it's something to consider. And again, I'm always open for coffees. I do a lot of coffees with people over the years. And so if you want to send me an email, ask me a bit more, or maybe have a socially distanced coffee, where our cafeteria is open. We'd have to wear our masks and sit 6 feet apart, but we can still, or 2 meters apart, but we can still sit together and visit. So I'm good for that anytime. Or have one of these. We can have a video conversation as well. Thanks, Brandi. I think if I go any further, anything I'm missing, Brandi, feel free to cut in and tell me you'd like me to speak on something. Or if that's enough, we can boot me off.
No, that's good, Ken. Thank you so much. So I've also invited Roxene here today because I would love her to talk to you a little bit about the administrative professional program. So Roxene, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Brandi. Yeah, so as Brandi mentioned, I do teach in the Administrative Professional Certificate Program, and there's a number of courses that are really quite interesting. It's a one-year certificate, and the focus in the first semester is really about writing with clarity and digital communication and doing some social media marketing and really understanding computer programs such as the Microsoft Suite, so Word, Excel, and really diving into those programs immensely, and so having a really thorough understanding. And with that, you also get to really experience how you can take your skills and put them into real life applications. And one of the real life applications that we do throughout the course is that we help plan an event in the community. And the event is the Inspiring Women's, trying to think, sorry, I'm at a loss for words here. Inspiring Women's Conference is the event that we help organize, and we all get to partake in meetings and discussions and event planning, and then we get to go to the convention and our conference, pardon me, and it's just a really good way to be involved in a community and learn how to do some event planning. And with that, we get to work with our skills that we're learning, conducting meetings, and also what does it take to be an assistant of that frontline worker, maybe in an office setting. And so you would learn how to do some clerical duties, and in the second semester, you get to do a practicum. So going into a place of work and doing a 4-week practicum and really getting that hands-on knowledge on how to become an administrative professional. So we've had really good success in our program and employment. And I know that last year was an interesting year, and but all the students were still able to get practical experience at the end of the course, even with COVID. So we work really hard to make sure that the classes are meaningful and that you are able to still have some really good experiences. Okay, I think that's all.
Thank you so much, Roxene. And thank you to Ken. Thank you to both of you and to Ben for jumping in and being put on the spot. We so appreciate being able to meet the individuals that teach us and that care about us, and just it allows you to also have a familiar face, because we want you to come to Lakeland College. We'd love to have you to experience the college feeling, and just kind of like I got to, and maybe even better. So yeah, I just kind of that's pretty much the end of the meeting. Thank you so much for coming today. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up, as we do have another recording that happened this morning with another 2 instructors. We had a panel this morning that we actually got to meet some of our current and actual graduated students who talked about their experiences. So please feel free to go check that out. And also we have, like I mentioned the swag bag earlier today, we have our lemonade stand game. If you guys want to give it a shot, the rules are posted and you guys have an opportunity to win a swag bag through that as well. With that, is there any questions that anyone has? I just wanted to actually grab a question from the previous session that I actually was a good question was, and Kenneth and Roxene, if you don't mind answering this. The question for that was, what do some of the assignments look like? And I'm going to adjust the question a little bit for A&A and for, sorry, real estate appraisal and assessment and for the administrative professional. Ken, do you maybe want to answer that?
Want me to jump on? Yep, you betcha. Did I type it in here, Brandi? Did anybody get the name of the mascot?
Yeah, there's a prize up for grabs here.
Oh, it's already done.
The name of the mascot, type it into the chat. The first person to be able to answer that, I will send you my email so that I can send you that prize.
Now, if the name of the mascot was the same as when I played volleyball, Brandi, I dropped the hint when I first came on last time. I won't do it a second time, or it'll get obvious. Anyways, what do the assignments look like? So I'll say I'm doing first year marketing as well, and I would say it's going to be kind of comparable actually to the second year. There's lots of smaller, easier assignments, and then what we do is we really try to get you to work hands-on. I don't know how many of you are from a farming background or from a 4-H background, but there's a slogan in 4-H that says the best way to learn is to do by doing. And so we teach you the theory, and then you've actually got to do it. You've actually got to do a project where you apply your knowledge. And I think that's wonderful because I've learned both ways in my studies. And boy, if I didn't take my knowledge and apply it a year down the road, I don't know if I knew very much at all, actually. So in the real estate appraisal and assessment program, you do some learning and then you do a project. And like I say, it's where you actually have to get out a spreadsheet or get out a measuring tool or get out some kind of a report, and you've actually got to apply your knowledge. And they're a lot of work, but they're wonderful. I tell my students all the time that the things that you value the most in life are the ones that were the hardest to attain. And so I think that makes your diploma valuable, is when you have to actually come and work hard and learn a lot and have some pressure on you. And then when you succeed, it means something to you. So I think that's more. If there's any questions, again, feel free to fire them out. But in a nutshell, I think that's that. And then in the marketing class that I'm doing the first year, it's the exact same. We're doing marketing, and then you're going to have to, we have a marketing proposal we have to put together, and you're going to have to put your thinking caps on and try to work yourself out of a dilemma or out of a problem and present to the business with some solutions. And so that's a nutshell. That's kind of what we do in business, is teach you some theory and get you to do, so you have value when you walk out the doors. So that's it, Brandi. I think if there's anything else I'm missing, feel free to give me a nudge.
No, thank you. Roxene, do you want to answer the similar question?
Well, I don't know how much I can add to Ken's, being that he really covered what we do in administrative professional as well as first year business courses, is that we teach the technical and then we get them to apply that knowledge. So that theory and then the application. And so there is smaller assignments throughout the courses, and yeah, you're continuously applying the knowledge that you learned during the lectures into a project that you're going to do and submit. So I know in communication classes, we tend to have quite a few assignments, but they are small, and you get to do some research and some looking at different concepts and then applying your knowledge and bettering your skills. And so that's really what it's all about, is making sure that you are obtaining the information that is been given to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roxene. So we are actually pretty much over time now. So I just want to say thank you again to Roxene, Ken, and Ben for joining us and giving us a little bit of information about them and what they teach. And I hope that was valuable today. And with that, we will stop the recordings. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody. Bye.